Hi guys, and welcome back to Bad Habits. Today we're going to be doing Cassette Beasts. This is a new game that I have recently found on Steam, as I like to doom scroll. I was doom scrolling, I saw that it was on sale. Now, this is a game that I've been looking at for a super long time. Like, I've been staring at it, and I wanted to try it out, and I wanted to buy it, but I just didn't want to buy a game and it not make me happy with my purchase, and I actually wanted to put time into it, and I just wasn't sure about this one. This was one that really I wasn't going to put my money towards because I didn't want Pokemon Wannabe as a video game, and that's why I skipped over it. And I skipped over it again and again and again, and I saw it on sale recently. So when I saw it on sale, I went, I should give it a shot. You know what? Every game is different, made by different people. Even if it is a look-alike, then it'll pan out. Hopefully the game turns out good. However, I was wrong. I was wrong. Sorry. Yes, it plays the same, as in two people battling back and forth. You got one side, other side. Yes, it plays the same. However, this game is completely different, and I am so glad I bought it. So since I bought it, since I played it, we're going to get a little bit into this, and we're going to see how this game goes. So this game kind of struck me kind of weird when I first got into it. It's like a mix between a 2D and a 3D battler. So you have like your 2D where you're like going like left and right, and you have your like pixelated character. However, as you get into it, you realize that it has 3D aspects to it. Some of the gates are 3D, and when you press them, they swing back and forth. And I promise you, oh, so good, so good. I love pressing a 3D object with a 2D object. I don't know why it feels so good, but it feels so good. It feels like it shouldn't be. It's a sin, but I love it, and it's fantastic. Getting back in more to the game is this 2D battler, basically, where it's one side versus the other. You have plenty of mixed attacks and types, the creatures being different types, the attacks being different types, and that breaks down to similar rules on how almost any game of the type works. For example, water puts out fire. That's just a base example. It goes much deeper than that in this game, way deeper than Pokemon actually does. See, in Pokemon, you have your set type, and normally they can cross a little bit, or the Pokemon itself has a mixed type. These creatures, when they're battling back and forth, things can go way wacky, way more wacky than Pokemon even tried to do. For example, in Cassette Beasts, you can use fire on a plastic type, and if you use fire on a plastic type, it produces a poison, which then poisons your character back. It's very complicated, but it's very fun to work with because everything has a weakness, everything has a strength, and it's fun to see how everything pans out. So apparently the story of this game is that, so far from what I've tested, sorry to interrupt my own self, but so far as I've gotten into it, because I haven't beat it yet, I plan to, because I just got extra DLC for it and I have to. It's now a problem. But the story of this game goes, basically you've fallen out from your world and you've landed in this other world, where you're currently at is a place called New World or something like that, something along the line. But it kind of takes like a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon approach, to where like you just kind of woke up and now you're here and now this is what you're dealing with. No way to get home, no way to find home, so you're searching to get back home while dealing with all of this magical stuff that's going on around you that you know next to nothing about. So after a little bit of exploring, you end up meeting this girl who teaches you how to battle, and then after she teaches you how to battle, she introduces herself and you two start going on adventures. You can find other companions later along down the line, but I haven't been searching for many companions besides the one I'm currently carrying with me. Kaylee, the name of this character that I was just speaking of, she's a wonderful sort as far as I can tell. Who knows? She's supposed to have, like, you know, a dark past. Wow, that was so bad. I tried to do the yeah, that's it. I killed it. So apparently, Kaylee, or Kayla, shoot, I think it's Kaylee. So apparently Kaylee's supposed to have some sort of dark past that had to do with something or another, but you know, she's good in my book. I played a little bit through the story and I don't think she did anything too bad. So, you know, I like chilling with her. Even if I thought that she was a bad person, it wouldn't be the first time in a video game that I decided to take the bad path. So I ended up chilling with her. We're going through her story just fine, and we were like going around and fighting these archangels. Now, archangels are these big creatures that aren't like the normal creatures running around. Everything else is in like 2D and has this like very 2D pixeled feel to it. But these creatures are like 3D, and their models are kind of disturbing to look at. They're actually what you're seeing going on in the background. Now, I haven't quite figured out the importance of these characters, but this is your main task and what you're trying to do. You're trying to go around, take out all the archangels, while at the same time battling these trainer-type people who are trying to teach you lessons in how to fight. Now, there's one thing that I forgot to mention, and that one thing I forgot to mention is how you get your monsters. Now, in this game, unlike other of these monster battle type games, it's called Cassette Beasts for a reason. Now, everyone has these cassette players on them and little tapes that they use to put into the cassette tape player and record the creatures. Now, this has a certain percentage of either passing or failing when you do so, ruining the tape if you fail. However, I found that it was a very interesting take on how a lot of these games work. Most of them are trying to catch the monster and use them, but in this game, you are the monster. You record the monster's appearance and power and take them onto yourself to battle against these forces that you're trying to figure out. Now, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. There are some things about this game that I absolutely love. First of all, I already mentioned one, the 2D, 3D aspect. It's a 2D game in a 3D world, and that's so weird and uncomfortable to look at, but it's so good. It's like, you know, I'm walking around as a 2D character, and there's these 3D fences that I can press. Then there's my 2D character, but I use a 3D lift to get to the next level, and when I go down a hallway, the whole screen turns. Oh, it's just so good. It's so good, and I absolutely love it. It's something that I admire in how it's played. Number 2, your healing spot inside the game is a coffee house, and God, do I love coffee. Coffee is lifeblood, it is existence. If you don't think so, you need to pick yourself up a cup and drink it, because it is. Number 3 is the music. Oh my God, this game has the best soundtrack, and I mean the best soundtrack. I have found myself on several occasions just laying back on my bed and listening to the game play while I'm not doing anything. I just want to hear the music playing in the background. It's absolutely wonderful. Every song that you're actually hearing while this video is playing was actually made inside of this game. This is the game where these songs came from and came together out. So if you're loving the music that's in the background, If you're not going to play the game, go buy the CD. It comes with like 63, 64 songs. Oh, worth it. Worth it. Absolutely fantastic, and it's not even expensive. You should just go grab it, have yourself 4 or 5 new CDs, and oh my god, it's worth it. I love it. I love it a lot. The music is just fantastic. Now, many of these games have a plot of sorts, and this game has a plot too, but it's a very open-ended plot. You don't have to stay in the beginning area. You can go straight to the end area, and though you won't be leveled up high enough to take on anything there, there's nothing stopping you from figuring out the puzzles and getting there besides maybe a boss battle that's too strong for you to fight. And yes, you did hear the word puzzles. This game is absolutely filled with them. Some traps too. I found this light switch that I flipped on, and some guy fell on me and started a battle with me, which I wasn't expecting. It wasn't planned. So yes, there is puzzles throughout the game that you need to figure out to either continue further, and or move something around to get something out of your way to get an item farther back. Honestly, how good the game was really actually shocked me. I really thought that I was just throwing my money into a pool and I was going to test the game out and not like it. And it really took me by surprise, especially when I started playing and getting deeper into it. I'm having a grand time with it. And the next best part, something that I haven't explained yet, is that there's fusions inside the game. Every creature can fuse with another creature, leading up to, I think they're currently at like 1,000 something transformations that can happen within the game. Yeah, there might only be 114 of these creatures that you can collect, but the transformations are nigh endless. And yes, before anyone goes asking or searching up for another video, there is character creation in this game. Along with outfits, you have your own dresser drawer that you can get into and switch your outfits up. And if you're really into cosmetics like I am, you can actually spend $2 extra to go get a cosmetic pack. It doesn't come with much, but it came with just enough that I wanted it. Haven't got it yet, but I definitely want to get it at some point in time, just when I find $2 extra sitting around. Now, a few other things that really need mentioned in this video, so people don't get lost while trying to play the game like I did. You can actually gain certain powers by capturing certain creatures. If you capture a creature that can swim, suddenly you can swim. If you capture a creature that can dash, now you can dash faster. There's a whole bunch of different things like this, and I haven't found them all yet, but I'm well on my way to finding them all, so I can access areas that I wasn't able to access before. On top of that, there's also a backpack system where you go to a shop that is the ranger station, where you go and you gain fusion materials from missions that you have done with them that you can trade in for different mods on your backpack that will allow you to store more potions, more AP drinks, even more revives for your cassette tapes, which are called rewinds instead of revives. And I guess I'll throw a little side note in there for the fast travel stations. I guess they're like really stations. They're like train stations. But the magical blue crab seemed nice, so I thought I'd throw it in there just for that magical blue crab. If you're just looking for a quick buy that's relatively cheap and looks like it could be a fun game, this is it. I would grab it up, have yourself a great time with it. It has brought me a ton of nostalgia and even more fun gameplay, and it has been so worth the purchase that I put into it. But that's just my take on it. You should try it out yourself. Go grab the game if you want to. Go and look up some other reviews to see maybe if they covered something that I didn't. If they did, let me know and I'll try to change it for next time I'm around. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you next time right here on Bad Habits.